based on this paper, over 80 million jobs will disappear in United States of America in the next 5 years, and it makes me wonder if UX design as a career will be replaced as well. Now, it is a valid question because if we separate UX design into 3 different skills such as UX design, which covers the research and then the documentation, and UI design and communication, most of these are now getting automated in some shape or form by these AI tools. Now, to discuss if UX design as a career will be replaced, we should ask what kind of skills actually constitute a UX designer and how many of these skills can now be kind of automated. Now, let's take apart the UX research. If you're a UX designer who has to find the problems of the users for the product you are working for, interview users, get their data, do documentation, we can already kind of automate this process for ChatGPT, which can help with the user documentation, actually creating the questions much more faster. And also we can use UX Insight, which is a software tool that can actually give you, based on the application you have, the conversion rate or the numbers you would have, where the users might have some difficulty, whether that is actually clicking the button on the page or actually stumbling upon your application and having problems. You can have heat maps, and you can also have some conversion issues that you can solve with this tool, and it will only get better as it gets more and more data. Now, for UX writing, we can already use some copywriting tools like ChatGPT or others, which can help us name our CTRs better or come up with simpler terms so that our products can be easily understood. So we are already kind of seeing this automation for the other jobs that are similar, which is copywriting or others, where a lot of companies have begun firing their employees because a single copywriter's productivity has risen so much. Now, if you are a UI designer, you might still have some time, but even in UI design, if we use Mid-Journey starting from now, it is giving us some good designs, already starting to solve certain problems. And this is only in the last 2 years. What will happen in the next 3 to 5 is a lot harder to predict. Now, the reason I enumerated these skills is I wanted to show you in all the sub skills that are common for a UX designer, most of them are already getting automated or need to use AI to actually do it much more proficiently. Now, if you were a UX designer, let's say, who has started working 10 years ago, and let's say you're a UX designer who just started the last year, your productivity might be actually twice as good. What this means is that if a company is going to hire, let's say, 10 UX designers to do X amount of work, 10 years ago, they would actually need 20 to do that X amount of work because we became much more proficient and effective and productive thanks to these tools. Now, does this cause lost job? Yes. But there is also a second important thing we should consider. And that second term is jobs created. If we consider different sectors in the past, such as agriculture or manufacturing, which actually use automation to increase productivity, surely there were some jobs that were lost, but thanks to these new machines, new jobs were also created to actually, work these machines, how to keep them, on. And we found ways to actually create new jobs where the sector has grown. Meaning jobs lost does not mean that we have a net loss of jobs in any kind of industry. And this might also happen with AI. Meaning a great designer in the next 3 to 5 years probably will not be a designer who does not use any kind of AI tools and just try to develop on their own like 10 years ago. That would almost be similar as a designer who is still using paper instead of Photoshop. Meaning the design job we might do in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years will probably not be what we do right now, as our tasks will get automated, but it will be where we work alongside AI and do some new tasks, just like the people in agriculture or manufacturing industries have done. We will have new jobs in design sector that will let us work alongside AI, not against it or not without it. Now, For that reason, it is very important to master these tools and especially to learn how to use ChatGPT. And if you enjoyed this video, you will really want to watch this ChatGPT video where I will show you how to use ChatGPT as a UX designer.